Did you hear that noise? That is my favorite noise to hear. That means that I just sold something on one of my e-commerce stores. What's up, you guys? It's Brandon here. I just want to share some things with you guys. I want to share some of my tricks that I have learned from running successful e-commerce stores and also a lot of failures of e-commerce stores. There's a lot of things that I have learned, and there's a lot of mistakes that I have made, and I want to just give you guys some tips, some things that I have done successfully. But before we begin, how about you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that thumbs up if you liked the video, and don't forget the bell notification so that you can be updated the next time that I upload a video, and we can continue this conversation from there. Alright, you guys, the first thing I want to talk about is your website. Your website is your face of your company or your brand or your e-commerce store. You want your website to look like a professional website. You don't want it to look like something that's thrown together with some random stock images or some random iPhone pictures. You want your website to actually look professional. And I'm not saying go out there and invest hundreds, thousands of dollars into building a website. You can actually do it all on your own and through Shopify with themes and all this other thing, free themes, need I say, but just make sure your website's really professional. Make sure your images are seamless, your product images all match. Don't have a product image with a white background, a product image with a black background, and don't have a product image on somebody's body. Say you're selling a t-shirt, you don't want to have one product image of it laying on the ground, one product image of it on a hanger, and the other product image of it on a body. You want it all to be seamless. You want to be able to scroll through your site. I prefer to look at websites, and I prefer my brands to have all white backgrounds and that match the website background so that it is a seamless experience. And trust me, by just doing this, your website will look so much better, and it will actually build that little bit of trust in your website that I'm going to talk about in a minute. You want your website to have a lot of social proof. You want to be able to people to go to your website, and they want to trust. You want your website to have a lot of social proof. You want people to go to your website and you want them to trust you. You want to build customer reviews. You want customers to give you feedback. You want people to upload pictures of the product on the website so that when people are shopping, they're not just looking at the product images or the lifestyle images that you chose. You want them to have in the review section the option for people to look through other pictures that customers have actually purchased and customers are actually wearing. And that is going to increase your social proof and your trust on your website so much, and you won't believe how much that will increase your sales just by doing that little thing. Alright, you guys, the next thing I want to talk about is know your numbers. You want to know all of your numbers inside and out. I'm not kidding you. You want to know your average order value, your ROAS, your conversion rate, your customer retention, your returning customer rate. You want to know every single number that comes with your store or your brand or your dropshipping store, whatever it is. You need to know your numbers inside and out. And not only knowing your numbers about what your analytics on your store is, you also need to know how much is in your bank account at all times. You need to know how much money you have, you need to know how much credit you have, and you need to also know how much you can get, how much capital you can get, and how fast you can get it. Because if an opportunity comes up to grow your brand with an influencer or like a celebrity, but they want a certain amount of money, you're going to need to be able to basically drop that bag at an instant so you don't lose out on the opportunities that are going to actually push you forward and grow your brand and possibly make you one of the next big things out there. So know your brand, your analytic numbers, and also know your numbers of how much money you have and how much money you can get. I promise you, by knowing these things, you're going to be able to be successful, and you're going to be able to be successful with your business. It's also going to keep you focused. It's going to be able to keep your attention where your attention needs to be kept. I promise you these things. The next thing I want to talk about is customer relationships. You need to build that customer relationship, whether it be replying to every single comment on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter or whatever your social platforms are, and also replying to every single email. You need to be able to build that customer relationship. Your customer comes first. This is a business, but your customer does come first, and you need to please that customer. Also, with building your customer relationship, something that I like to do, I like to put thank you cards or thank yous or some sort of gratitude letter inside each package. Now, it's not handwritten. This isn't an Etsy shop. Nobody has time to handwrite everything. But what we do is we put a thank you for your purchase and a coupon for next time. Just show that gratitude, and not only is that showing a customer, building that customer relationship, but it is also putting it out there that you can increase your number on your returning customer rate. See, one of those things. You need to always know your pulse of your business. The next thing you want to know is your presentation. The presentation of your brand out there on social media and your website and even print. They all need to mesh together. You do not want to have a non-seamless brand, because that is going to be so much for somebody's mind to wrap around, and it's just not going to work in your favor. So basically what I mean is, if your website looks a certain way, you need to have that same vibe over your Instagram, over your Facebook, over your Twitter, and also in any promotional things that you put inside the packaging. What I like to do is we do seasonal stuff. So like every 2 or 3 months we change it up. But whatever our sale is on the websites, we put the same sale. Obviously we advertise that, but it's the same banner. And it's also the same Instagram stories, and it all has that same feel, that same graphics, that same vibe. But we also put that on the thank you cards that I just talked about a minute ago that go inside of the packages. They look just like the same vibe as the banners and the Instagram posts and all this stuff, so that it is a seamless experience from the time somebody first meets your brand to the time that they're looking through your brand, or the time that they are actually getting a purchase. And if you dropship, you can also, a lot of suppliers overseas, I do know that they will put promotional stuff in your packages for you. You can have custom packages coming from your dropshipping store. You just have to talk to your supplier. You might even have to purchase packaging or purchase your branding materials and have it sent to your factory or sent to your supplier and have them package it up when that order goes out. But you can do it. Everybody can do it. So just make sure that you are actually doing it, because it is going to make your brand 10 times much better. I promise you. For example, we would do, I went to Staples and I would get those like cardstock papers that have like the fold and tear, and there was like 4 on each page, and we'd send that through the printer, and we'd print like a thank you with like a coupon code for next time. And it's so tacky, it's so cringy to think about, but that's what I did until I learned that I could actually have stuff printed for really, really, really cheap, and that increased my brand value and also increased my presentation and made a seamless experience, and also gave the customer something that they were like, oh, this isn't just some random brand off of Instagram, which we were, but it made them think that we were more professional and more advanced than we actually were at the time. So I promise you, your presentation goes right back to the website. That is one thing that you really, really, really need to focus on, and make sure your presentation is not sloppy and not all over the place on all of your platforms, and is a seamless experience. The next thing to add on to this is packaging. You want your packaging to look like really cool, honestly, and eye-catching. Just think, like, we live in a time where like people upload videos on YouTube called like unboxing experiences, and people post that on their Instagram stories, and those are really, really engaging things, and it's also free advertisement. But you want to have a complete unboxing experience. I don't care if you're selling a pencil. What I would do is I would get a cool box and set that 10-cent pencil in, and have a nice like velvet inside of it that like popped open, and just have that really cool branding experience. And not only does it increase everything that we've talked about, and it will increase your sales and make you more professional, but like, that's cool. Like, that makes me want to purchase again. Like, even though it's a pencil, like it might be just a yellow number 2 pencil, but just having that experience sets you off from being able to sell that pencil for $4 to being able to sell that pencil for probably $20. Just think, like, when you go to a Gucci store, or when you go to any of these luxury stores, you get your product, whether it be like, let's say your flip-flops. You get your flip-flops, which probably do not cost that much to be made, and are probably not of any extra quality than your Nike slides, but it comes in a nice pouch. It comes in a nice box. It has all these certificates of authenticity, all of these cool things that make you feel like you are getting something that is actually worth a lot of money. But it all just comes down to your packaging. And also, if you dropship, this goes back to the same thing. You can have packaging made at a different facility overseas, and you can have those packaging sent to another your supplier. I actually had a conversation with one of my suppliers that I deal with yesterday, and he was like, why don't we have your boxes sent to your factory here and have them packaged up? But that's not exactly what those boxes were meant for. But it just goes to show that they will do that for you. If you have a pencil, be like, okay, here's my factory for the pencils. We're making these pencils for $1, maybe even like 5 cents a piece. Have this factory over here make these boxes for what, $1 a piece? Yeah, the packaging is going to cost more than the actual product, but you're going to be able to sell that for 3 times the amount that you would have. It's going to be so worth it. So that's another thing you really, really need to focus on is packaging and an unboxing experience. And that's something that you can start from right out the gate. You can start having a box, even if you order 300. I don't know what the minimum order quantity would be, but if you order 300 of them and have them sent to your supplier, and every time somebody purchased something off your website that you were going to drop ship or that you were going to have sent to a customer, they just package it up for you. And that is a very common practice that they will do for you. And I promise you, it's going to work so well for any brand, any dropshipping store. Even the packaging the mailers, like your mailers are something that needs to look good. You don't want to have like the U.S. Postal Service mailers when you could have something that's just like plain, or you can have something that has your logo on it for what, 15 cents more? I promise you, having all of this packaging is going to help with your presentation. That is going to mean so much to your brand, and it's going to make you a lot more money, I promise you. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is being innovative. Is that how you even say it? Innovative. I think so. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is being innovative. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to come up with a new invention to have a successful product or a successful store. You just need to find something that people are going to purchase, or something that people are already purchasing, but you need to do it better. Kind of like everything I've already talked about, if you just apply everything that I've already said, you will be able to make a product that somebody else is already making or selling, and you will be able to do it better. Like, I promise you, I've seen so many different brands out there or different products out there selling that, like the massager for the back, your like muscle massager. I've seen so many different brands, or I've seen so many different brands out there selling the teeth whitening thing. Like, honestly, those are just Chinese products, a lot of them, that are just branded and just presented well to the customer to make you feel like you are getting something that is like a 5-star product, when it's probably the same product. Or even like the stuff that you think about, like if you have a great value product and a name brand product, like it's honestly probably the same product, probably even comes from the same factory, it just has a different logo or a different stamp on it. And that is just that goes with your presentation and your brand recognition. And that's probably something that you don't think that you can do, but by doing everything I've already talked about, you're going to be able to do that. Alright, the last thing I want to talk about is don't be afraid to fail. And if you do fail, you will fail. I failed so many times. Everybody's failed. I promise you. You're going to fail. Just say it with me. You are going to fail. But that does not mean that you need to quit and pack up and go home. You just need to pick yourself up, fail fast, pick yourself up, and be able to put yourself back together really fast, figure out what the problem was, why you failed, and how you're not going to fail next time. If you fail, which you will, like I said, make sure that you do it quickly and that you get yourself up quickly, get back on the horse, and keep riding. If all these people that have failed were just to be able to give up and quit, like we wouldn't have half of the amazing products out there that we have right now. Alright, you guys, well that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you learned something. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Also give me a thumbs up, like this video. Also, don't forget that subscribe button and the bell so that you can be notified the next time that we can continue this conversation.